This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks played their first preseason game tonight. They got to win. It's whatever you believe about the preseason, they got to win tonight, and it was fairly impressive. They beat the Pacers 125-104. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. We got Steph here in the chat, man. We got somebody playing something in the background. It looks like it was Nate.
That was not me, bro.
He looked up with the guilty look. But anyway.
That was Tony. That was not me.
We have Nate in the building. We got Josh. We got Tony Crow. We got the Queen Steph in the building. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing on and popping, ladies and gentlemen, and talk about what's going on. We're going to talk about the New York Knicks and, their game tonight. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the roll. Tony, I'm going to start with you. What's popping, brother? How you feeling?
What's going on? Salute, guys. Salute, Queen. Yo, Black is time.
Salute.
Excited, man. The season is here. The preseason's here. A nice, good win. I saw the game in spurts, so I'm sure you guys are all going to be able to fill me in on a lot that I missed, and I'm going to watch the game as soon as we're done anyway. So, I love what I saw. I'll keep it short right now. When we get back, we'll get into it.
Yeah, all right, no doubt. Josh, what's going on with you, man?
Salute everybody out there. Salute the NBK fam. Salute the panel. Salute the chat. I just want to say tonight, again, it's preseason. I'm not going to go too crazy about everything, but tonight was basically what I expected Thibodeau to do as far as keeping the starters out there and getting them major minutes. I think that's, pretty much why the game got so out of hand because our starters basically had that continuity and the Pacers were kind of experimenting with their lineup. Not taking anything away from what we did tonight. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was great. And it's always feels good to get a win. So big up to the Knicks, and let's see if we can keep it going.
All right. Nate, what's up, man?
Hey, man, what's going on? Cash your tickets for the finals. It looks like the Knicks are going to be there. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was a good start to this season. I'm interested in talking more about it.
Yeah. And Steph, what's going on, Steph?
Everything is good. Sam, the panel, the chat. Listen, Tibbs is about his business. And that's kind of what I thought, that Taj was going to start. He was going to rock with that starting lineup and his rotations so that they can hit the ground running. That's Tibbs. And he did not deviate. And he didn't deviate today. So maybe, as Josh said, in game 3 or 4, we'll see more of the rookies. I think this is how it's going to be all the way through. But we'll see.
I kind of agree with you. I think it's going to be like this all the way through, man. Tibbs, like you said, he wants to hit the ground running. He's not joking. He's like, yo, we need to get this early chemistry going. These guys, yeah, they're young. I want them to get a little bit of burn, but, they'll get their time when their time comes. When you look at the minutes distribution tonight, Julius Randle, he played 29 minutes, 48 seconds. R.J. Barrett played 25 minutes and 27 seconds. Taj Gibson played 21 minutes. Evan Fournier played 26 minutes and 34 seconds. Kemba Walker played 21 minutes and 8 seconds. Derrick Rose played 21 minutes and 15 seconds. Alec Burks, he played 18 minutes, 13 seconds. Jericho Sims, he played 24 minutes and 37 seconds. Obi Toppin played 14 minutes. Emmanuel Quickley played 21 minutes and 26 seconds. That right, everybody in that 10-man rotation played over 10 minutes, with Obi Toppin having the lowest amount of minutes out of that 10-man rotation. Amir Sims, he played 2 minutes and 17 seconds. He had the lowest amount of minutes of everybody. Kevin Knox played 4 minutes. Quentin Grimes played 4 minutes and 20 seconds. And Miles McBride played 5 minutes and 37 seconds. I mean, he rocked with his guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. I looked up and we got halfway through the second quarter, and I'm like, wow, Julius Randle's still out there on the floor. Or was late in it was late in the first quarter, and I'm like, Julius Randle's still out there on the floor, and then finally he subbed him in subbed in Obi Toppin, and then in the third quarter, it was late in the third quarter. He played the entire third quarter, and I was like, okay, when is he gonna let him sit or what?
Right.
And I'll tell you what, if the game was close, Tom Thibodeau might have kept him out there. The game was a blowout. He might have kept him out there to play. Julius Randle almost played 30 minutes tonight. If the game was close, he might have played 32, 33, 34 minutes.
Yep.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but, what are you going to do? That's who Tom Thibodeau is. Steph, I'll start with you, and I got some guys in the waiting room. Guys, we'll let you get in. But Steph, what did you see tonight that you liked from the Knicks?
I like the pace. And what I also like is that, you can move the pace and not fast break. If you have it, you have it. But if not, you can still pick up the pace even in a half court in terms of moving the ball, moving the bodies, not holding on to the ball, making sure you're cutting. So I like the pace. I love what I saw from Quickley. I'm sure we'll talk, more about it. Just his playmaking, his defense has improved. His ball handling is better. And Obi, I liked what I saw from Obi as well. I mean, I think last year, if you ask me, he was just running and jumping. Mm-hmm. But this year, taking a mid-range shot, putting the ball on the floor, his footwork looked good on that move when he drove to the basket. So I like that as well. And defensively, we looked okay. I mean, we got some things we need to work on, but maybe it won't be as bad as we think, on the defensive end. So yeah, I liked a lot of things tonight.
Yeah. Josh?
Biggest thing for me is, and I was paying attention to this, I was, focusing on those principles that Thibodeau laid out in training camp, right? First and foremost, 3-pointers, right? Last season, the Knicks were last in the NBA in the amount of 3-pointers they took. They averaged about 30 per game. League average was 34. Tonight, they shot 37. And even though the percentage was 29%, just for the simple fact that they was able to get those shots up in the air early and throughout the game, tells you that philosophy, that's a big philosophy change. Second thing, points per game. Last season, they were near the bottom at 107. They rose up a little bit, but they were 107 points per game. League average was 114. The Knicks put up 125. Now, you can argue that, the last 8 or 9 points or whatever came in garbage time or whatever the case may be. You take that away from the 125 that they scored, and you get to 114. So that's right around league average. So everything the Knicks did tonight was basically, what the league average is. And if they can do that and just knock down a little bit more shots, this team can put up 120, 120, 125 every single night. You know what I mean? And that will be huge for this particular team. I know we were talking about that. And right now in the NBA, they didn't put up the amount of pace per game. But last season, the Knicks, we all know they were last in the NBA in pace, around 96 possessions per game. League average is 99. Tonight, they had to have at least 102. Had to. And if they can do that every single night, this team they will score a lot of points. They definitely will score a lot of points. So for me, that's what I was looking forward to. And the Knicks definitely executed that. And it's based on their personnel. Based on the personnel that they had. Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, getting those shots up, running the pick and roll early in the shot clock, getting them and knocking those shots down early. I think that was a formula for success.
Yeah.
All right. Tony?
So Queen and Josh made good points. I'm glad Queen talked about Quickley because, off air, that was the first thing I said was Quickley impressed me. The way he's facilitating and it's becoming natural to him. Queen mentioned his ball handling improved. So I'm excited to see where he's gonna shine at this year. How much of a step he's gonna make. And then Obi as well. The fact that they've been working all summer together, I think their chemistry is going to be great this year. And then again, back to Sims. All I kept hearing, because I was listening more than I was watching. I was at work, but I kept hearing loud to Sims. Sims with the rebound, or I just kept hearing his name. So I'm excited about that young boy too.
Yeah, Sims looked, he looked okay. There were a few times when maybe he looked like he was trying to figure out what to do, but he ended up making a good play or a right play, and he did what he was supposed to do: rebound the basketball and catch lobs. Did exactly what he was supposed to do. Nate?
Pace was good. I love seeing the Knicks running up and down. I thought that was really good. Kemba Walker is a breath of fresh air compared to all the point guards we've had lately. Good pop, good jump ability to jump shoot off the pick and roll. Just very, very, very smooth kind of guy. I think he's going to be a big addition for us if he can stay healthy. Defense was weak in the beginning. I think a lack of rim protection really hurt, not having Noel or having a Mitch Robinson in there. I mean, Taj was a baller, but he's not a shot blocker. And so I thought our defense was kind of weak in the beginning, but you could see at halftime, Tibbs definitely got into them about the defense. And I think they went like 6 minutes without scoring early in the second half, and the Knicks kind of built the lead up. I love what I saw from IQ and Toppin in the 1 and 2 man game. Like, they look like they were playing with a lot of cohesion with each other. So I'm anxious to see more of that. And the one thing I will say that I'm a little concerned with the Knicks is the rebounding. I saw a lot of offensive rebounding from the Pacers. I mean, I don't know what the numbers state, but just from my eyes, I saw we didn't get a lot of rebounds early in the game. We kind of tightened up later, but I'm a little worried about the rebounding.
Okay, well, let's take a look at some of the stats.
Yeah.
And, we'll talk about it from there. Of course, the score, 125-104. The Knicks win. The Indiana Pacers out-rebounded the Knicks 58-54. Both teams had 26 assists. 6 steals for the Knicks, 1 for the Pacers. 8 blocks for the Pacers, only 3 for the New York Knicks. 16 turnovers for the Pacers, 3 turnovers for the Knicks. 3 turnovers. And they played at a quicker pace tonight, but only 3 turnovers. All right, the Pacers shot 41.3% from the field. The Knicks shot 46.5%. The Pacers at 34% from 3. The Knicks 29.7%. And the Knicks were 91.7% from the free throw line, while the Pacers were 81.3%. The Knicks were led by Julius Randle. He had 20 points. He also had 9 rebounds. And they were quiet 20 points, too. I looked up in the first half, and Julius Randle had 10 points, and he was shooting 50% from the field, but it didn't feel like it because we've seen so many other people touch the basketball, and he still got his touches. Emmanuel Quickley led the team in blocks, along with Taj Gibson and some other people with 1 block. Emmanuel Quickley also had 7 assists tonight. All right, so the Knicks, they played a high-paced game. They shot the ball well. They didn't shoot great from 3, but overall, they shot the ball well.
Right.
Shot the ball well. And let me scroll down just a little bit, look at some other things. The Knicks had 15 fast break points. Only 9 for the Indiana Pacers. And we'll see if the Knicks are able to average a higher number of fast break points this season. Points in the paint, 56 for the Knicks, 38 for the Indiana Pacers. And Nate, you're right. The Pacers had 16 second chance points. The New York Knicks only had 11 second chance points. All right. And just from those numbers right there, just any thoughts about those numbers right there, Steph?
I like points in the paint. That means that, we're not just, even though we took more threes than the league average for last year, we're still getting in the paint, and scoring that way. That gives us an opportunity to get to the line as well. The fast break points, what was that, 15? I think last season it was 8, or something like that. So I think, pushing the pace has definitely helped. 15 fast break points, that's significant for us. So I'm happy with that. Our rebounding probably wasn't that great, but remember, we were without Noel, not a really strong rebounder anyway, and without Mitch. So, I think we're going to be, okay in that regard.
Yeah. As we run down the box score, ladies and gentlemen, I gave you the point totals of a couple of players. But Emmanuel Quickley, he had 10 points and 7 assists. And I know I want to talk about Emmanuel Quickley after I run down this box score, because I know there's some people who, some people like Emmanuel Quickley. Some people don't like Emmanuel Quickley and question his style of basketball play. Taj Gibson, he had 14.6 rebounds and 3 assists tonight. Julius Randle, as we said, 20 points, 9 rebounds. He shot 50% from the field. He shot 40% from 3. Good numbers from Julius Randle. There was a point in the third quarter where I felt like, he needed to give the ball up a little bit. But for the most part, good game for Julius Randle. Kemba Walker had 12 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Derrick Rose had 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Jericho Sims had 8 points and 6 rebounds in 24 minutes.
Okay.
RJ Barrett, he had 17 points tonight, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Evan Fournier, 12 points and 4 rebounds. Obi Toppin had 10 points and 5 rebounds. A lot of good numbers across the board for the New York Knicks. A lot of good numbers across the board. We got Isaiah in the building. Let's hear a little bit from Isaiah. Big Bubba, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, what's going? Oh Lord, what's going on, man?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Steph?
What's going on?
Hey.
What's going on, man? What's up? How you feeling about the game? That's what we're asking. We just read off the numbers. Like, what's up?
Listen, I watched the game. No, my bad. I watched the game. It was really good. The pace was there. Like, I forgot Steph. I think Steph said us, or what's the name said it. We didn't have to use fast break points. The pace was just there. We were scoring easily. Kemba looked good. Everybody looked good across the board. Only issue I really had, man, I was more mad at Thibs than anything else. Especially in the second half of the game, I just thought it wasn't really necessary to play some of these guys. I'd rather have seen some of the younger guys in there because, again, it's just, to me, we were already blowing them out. And I think we've seen enough in the first half and early third quarter to, see that these guys are, playing good and all that stuff. So me personally, I didn't like seeing them play because, again, you've seen D Rose leave the game earlier. Kemba laterally didn't look too good defensively. Everybody was going past him. I don't think his knees really still up to par yet. It's just a few things that I would have liked him not to play those guys and let the young guys like McBride, Grimes, and Obi get some more minutes just so they can get a little more comfortable into the game. But other than that, Kemba looked good. RJ looked good. Again, I think this team can easily average 120 points without even blinking this season. Defensively might be a little bit more of an issue this year, but I think we all kind of figured that, getting more offensive-minded players and, losing like a wing player like Bullock, you would see stuff like that. But, like I said, overall, it was good, man, besides the whole second half thing.
Is it, though? I mean, I don't know. When you look at today,
Fournier actually did pretty good.
I thought we played pretty good defense today.
I know. I mean, it wasn't bad. I still think we're going to be a top 10 defense. I still think we're going to be a top 10 defense, but I think we're going to be like how we were last year defensively? I don't think so. But again, that kind of happens when you lose defensive-minded players and get some more offensive-minded players. That just happens.
Well, I mean, you know what? I'm just going to wait and see because I thought we played decent defense today. We got after it on the defensive side of the ball, even when it was a blowout. You see Tom Thibodeau, well, it was kind of all on the offensive side. He got upset when the Knicks didn't execute offensively the way that he wanted them to, called the timeout, even though they were up 20-something points. But he would do the same thing on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
I'm in wait-and-see mode. I'm not going to sit here and say right now that the defense is definitely going to take a hit. I'm in wait-and-see mode. The Pacers scored 104 points tonight. And I know it's preseason, but the Knicks had their guys out there.
Yeah, I just think, to me, it's normal, but I just think the defensive mishap might just be coming from Kemba. From what I've seen today, again, it is laterally defensively, he just couldn't move. But this is probably just a knee and stuff like that. But again, it's literally the first game. These guys are gonna get better, man. I just don't want again. I just think when situations like this, when we're blowing out the Pacers, and I think you've seen a lot from the veterans in the first half. You've seen Burks.
Hold on.
You know what Derrick Rose.
Wait a minute. One second. So you say we're blowing out the Pacers as if the Pacers what? Are you saying they're a bad team?
No, they're not a bad team. But what I'm saying is that we all know what D Rose is going to give us. D Rose is going to give us what he does. Todd's going to give. Like, to me, Todd shouldn't have played 27 minutes. My opinion. I think he just shouldn't have played 27 minutes. I don't think Julius Randle should have played 30 minutes today. I don't think RJ should have played 25 minutes. I just don't think that.
Okay.
That's just me.
I mean, it is what it is. This is Coach Tibbs, and he wants to get the team off rolling. That's what Tibbs is going to do, and we know that's what Tibbs is going to do.
But my thing is that
what are you gonna do
we're saying that because nothing bad happened. I'm just saying this. I don't want anything bad to happen. Which again, it can happen in any quarter. It can happen in the first.
Okay, I mean, something bad could happen in the first 5 minutes of the game.
I was just saying that. But all I'm saying is that during a blowout win, I'd rather have the young guys versus seeing what you already know is going to happen with the veterans. I'd rather see the young guys.
We'll probably see that later on in the preseason.
Isaiah, let me just respond to what Isaiah's saying. So, listen, last season I brought the same concept up about Tibbs. We're up by 20 points and Tibbs leaving his people in the game. And basically what I was told is that's just who Tibbs is. Like, that's just who he is. That's how he operates. There's nothing we can do about
chemistry.
that.
He's building chemistry on the team.
You live with that.
Really? That's
Yes, that's how you build chemistry, by having them on the floor. And the second thing that I want to say is, in regards to our defense, I think we did give up a lot more threes than I wanted to. But that's just the nature of what Tibbs wants to do on defense anyway. Force long shots, have teams, take low percentage jumpers, if you will. And that's basically what's going to happen. So everything that happened tonight defensively, what the Knicks did defensively, I wasn't surprised. I don't think it was necessarily because Bullock wasn't there. I think it's more schematics, and we want to force teams to take long jump shots, and that's what happened.
And also
knocks them down.
And also, too, you got to understand that we put 2 new starters in the starting lineup, so they have to get time together to gel. And I think that's what Tibbs is trying to do, because most of the times you don't see 2 new starters in a starting lineup. You see maybe 1. So we've got 2, and they're very integral parts of the team. And so I think Tibbs wanted to see them gel a lot longer, and probably we'll see them for the preseason so they can get ready for the regular season.
Right.
I mean, but what okay. To me, it's just no point of. I get what you're saying about gelling, but you're playing against guys that's probably most likely not going to make the roster, and most of the guys that played in the third quarter for the Pacers.
That's
and
not
you got
the
your
point.
start. And hold on. You got your starting 5 in there, and again, something can happen. Something can happen to one of these guys, and then we wouldn't be talking about chemistry. We'd be talking about something happened to Kemba Walker or something. I'm just saying it's stuff that could have been prevented instead of happening.
He played 21 minutes. He played 21 minutes.
Kemba Walker.
Both and Rose. They both played 21 minutes.
RJ played 25 and Julius Randle played 30.
But you was talking about Kemba.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about the whole starting 5.
Right.
I'm not
But
talking about.
this is not even new. This is not even new. He did the same thing last season in blowout wins.
Just because he does it doesn't make it right.
No, it's not. It doesn't.
It doesn't make it the smartest decision. That's me. Again, that's just me. Again, like I said, I just in a blowout, I just rather see the young guys get those guys some NBA reps. And that's it. But again, we got a couple more games left.
That's right. They're not playing.
They're not going to play.
They're not playing. Listen. I for the most part don't have too much of a problem with, was I a little bit surprised? I was a little bit surprised, but I don't have too much of a problem with them guys playing their minutes right now. You know what I mean? They're NBA professionals. They're NBA professionals, and they, for the most part, know how to take care of themselves at this point in the season. It just is what it is. This is the way that, Tom Thibodeau is going to coach this basketball team. Hold up. This is the way that Tom Thibodeau is going to coach this basketball team. Tom Thibodeau wants to get off to a good start. Tom Thibodeau wants to be a playoff team. Tom Thibodeau wants to take this team as far as possible. And the way that he believes to do that is to build that chemistry with this team now.
And play the guys that you're going to be playing.
So,
Yeah.
of course,
Everybody
of course
can
you
get
wanna,
used to so nobody can get amped over they preseason.
Exactly. Exactly.
Minutes. He just letting you know from the beginning.
Letting you know right now.
I get what you guys are saying, but it's also, to me, it's about yes we want to get off to a good start. Yes, we want to come off firing on cylinders, but you also, this is 82 games. This isn't 51 games we're going to be playing. This isn't 72 games. This is going to be 81. There's going to be 82 games.
We know.
You have to learn to pace. You got to learn to pace yourself. And listen, I mean, again, we all can agree on this, that we have 2 point guards with bad knees.
They only played 21.
They only played 20 minutes.
You keep coming back to them. You keep coming back to them.
Yeah.
Do you want him to sit like the Lakers did to
I'm
LeBron and Westbrook and not play him? Is that what you're trying to say?
You mean you're comparing LeBron to?
Well, I'm just saying that's what they're doing.
That's not what he's doing at all. That's not what he's doing at all, Isaiah. No.
They sat him down in the first game. They didn't play him at all. So that's why I'm asking.
But you know,
What do you want
that's
Tibbs to
LeBron
do?
James.
What do you want Tibbs to do with Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker? What should he have done tonight? If 20 minutes is too much, how many minutes?
Hold on. I'm just saying starting 5. To me, again, this is me. There was no point of Derrick Rose playing going into the fourth quarter. That was no point.
Okay.
There was no point in him playing in the fourth quarter. And there was no point in him playing 2 minutes.
As far as we know.
Playing 2 minutes playing those 6 minutes when we were up by 25.
As far as we know, we don't know what's going on in the locker room. But anyway, go ahead, Nate. I want to talk about Emmanuel Quickley, right? And the way Emmanuel Quickley played tonight. Again, he had 10 points. He had 7 assists. He shot 40% from the field. He was 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. Nate, I know you have some thoughts about Emmanuel Quickley. I want to hear it. And Nate, after you go, we'll get a little bit of response. Oh, never mind. Darley rolled out. I was going to get Darley up in here, but go ahead. Go ahead, Nate.
I mean, okay. I don't want people to think I hate Emmanuel Quickley. I need to see more from him. The passing has been good. He has been consistent since the summer league. I will say that he has gotten better at the passing. Personally, in my opinion, I don't think we should make him a point guard. I think he's more of a shooting guard type. But if you want to try to put him at point guard, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather see him than Burks, even though I thought Burks did a pretty good job handling the ball too tonight. Honestly, his shot selection just bothers me. And again, like I said, the off-balance shot, the 35-footer. I mean, come on, man. Get into the paint. Work on that floater. Work on that mid-range. I mean, we know you can shoot a 35-footer. But, man, come on. You're 0 for 5? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of funny because people shame Tim Hardaway for taking bad shots. And I feel that Quickley at times can take bad shots. And nobody wants to say that. Like, they're very similar in their shot selection. Very erratic. Doesn't have a lot of fluidness to it. The shooting percentage doesn't lie. I mean, I don't think Tim Hardaway shot over maybe 45% in his time here in New York. So that's just my thing with him.
Hardaway's bad shot selection was over a defender. Quickley is usually not. It's just
he can't do it now because he's going to keep
a matter of him making
the call.
it or not.
Right.
But also, Nate, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Emmanuel Quickley were in 2 very different situations. Tim Hardaway Jr. at that point in time was expected to be one of your primary scorers, at least the number 2 scorer on the team.
True.
Emmanuel Quickley is not expected to be that.
No, I agree. I'm just saying that neither one of them, in my opinion, had really good shot selection. And like I said, we'll have to see with Quickley. I mean, he shot, 41% last year? So let's see what he shoots this year. If he shoots a higher percentage, then, hey, I'll give him his dues. But I don't think that's going to happen because I just think that he's going to take a lot of shots, and he's a volume shooter. He's not an efficient shooter.
Well, that's true. I agree. He is a volume shooter. We'll see if he can become more efficient with his shot selection.
That's the next part of his game.
But
and the passing.
Tom Thibodeau believes in what he's doing clearly, right? Because he's asking him to take these shots. I heard in Summer League, the bench yell at him to take a shot, a 35-footer or whatever it was. They screamed at him to take that shot. I think this is, I've been talking about this for a while now. The Knicks are, and Tom Thibodeau is slowly but surely moving the Knicks into a more, I don't know if you want to say progressive, but a more modern style of basketball playing. And that includes shooting threes, and it might include shooting long threes. Emmanuel Quickley is the only guy on his team that can shoot threes from that distance and make it. And so he probably wants him to shoot those threes because it does help spread that floor out because he's a threat.
Let me ask you this question, because I was thinking about this before the show started. They want him to play point guard. They want him to be more of a facilitator, playmaker type. But I think Quickley wants to shoot the ball. That's what he's good at doing. He shoots the ball. That's what the coaches love about him. He can shoot the ball. He's not hesitant. So do you worry at all that with Quickley, he's going to think too much about, should I pass the ball or should I take the shot? I mean, I don't know if it's going to come natural to him. That's the thing I'm worried about. Like, they're trying to make him do too much when at the end of the day, the guy is good at scoring the ball. Let him score the ball.
He has 7 assists.
Well, I mean, like I said, he's doing a good job right now. But our bad habit's going to come back later where he's not going to want to pass it and he's going to shoot the ball. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's not bad habits because one feeds off the other. His ability to knock down long shots is what helps him become a better facilitator. Did you see the play in the fourth quarter where he made a great hezzy on a jump shot, was able to drive past the man and hit Jericho Sims underneath the basket? His ability to shoot from three and get people to come up and defend that three-point shot opens up his passing game, opens up his playmaking game. So it's not completely independent of one another. I think they work well together. I think you're thinking about this way too much. The NBA is more of a progressive game, and teams need to have guys like that. You live with it and you die with it. Tonight, Emmanuel Quickley was 0 for 4. But the difference between him and Tim Hardaway Jr. is Emmanuel Quickley can go for 30. He can go for 30 off the bench. Tim Hardaway.
How many shots are going to take him to get 30? That's my question.
Well, I
think if he takes away those long shots, because I think those are the ones that really hurt his shooting percentage, right? Yes. But other than that, Quickley's game has really developed in my opinion. I mean, his handle, he's not a very fast guy, but you could tell he worked on his handle, and that's and his hesitation and his shiftiness, and that's gonna allow him to be able to get past guys that are quicker than him. His playmaking, his ability to see guys and hit guys is definitely improved, and he's taking a mid-range. He's not taking that long floater. He's getting in the lane. He's laying it up high off the glass. He's taking the mid-range. If he cuts out those shots he's taking right over half court early in the clock, his shooting percentage would shoot right up. I think those shots, unless we're down or I don't get why he needs why he needs to take those shots early in the clock. But the rest of his game, it's really impressive in my opinion. It's really impressive.
Yeah, I would just say that, again, I think it's one game in preseason. Again, I mean, at the end of the day, he went over 5, but he still had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. So it wasn't just like he was chucking up shots and just, fading away. He was still involved in the game. And we literally did this for Emmanuel Quickley the first game of Summer League. He shot like 0 for 10 or something like that. And everybody was like, "Oh man, what was he doing all summer?" Then it's a man Quickley. Like Josh said, we're not always, every player on your team is not going to be the super efficient. I can get, all I need is 10 shots. I can make 7 out of 10 and I'll be good. That's not a man Quickley's game so far in his young NBA career. That's not his game. So he's a volume shooter.
But he
he's
can
going to
easily
take those.
get better in that
Yeah,
regard by
he's
just taking 2 less shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't get
Or
the
take it closer
need
to the
take
3-point
those.
line.
Yeah, I just don't get the need to take those really long early in the shot clock.
It's the
I
new
just don't
thing.
get it.
It's the new thing of shooting. It's
I-
the Curry, the Trey.
I have no issue with it because Tibbs is gonna have the issue before I am, and if he's not okay, if he's okay with it, I'm okay with it. If he's not okay with it, he's gonna pull it. But last year, the complaint about Quickley is when he's not scoring, he's not doing anything. Now he's doing other things, and y'all still complaining
Well,
about.
we gotta see
And his defense is
consistently.
better as well. His
Yeah,
defense
yeah.
is
I-
much better.
Let me
Let
get
me
to a
see
phone
10 to
call.
15 games in.
Let me get
and
to a
then
phone
we'll see.
call here. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Sam, it's Spree-Ball. What's going on?
What's going on, Spree? How you feeling, man?
Oh, man, it's always a pleasure with all you guys and ladies out there. The Queen, salute to the Queen's Court. Salute to Tony Crow. I can't see all you guys right now, but, I love you all. Just my observations are this, Sam. Last year, there were times because our point guard situation was so bad that Alec Burks had to play point guard. We don't need to do that anymore. What I see on this team right now is offensively, they're not, and we talked about this a little bit coming into the year, Sim, but they're not going to have to exert as much energy on offense. Scores now. We have talent. Like in that first half, Sim, did we have some big first halves last year? Of course we did, but we had to exert so much energy just playing through Randall. We are not going to need to do that this year. I like that, Randall's going to have to play more off the ball. Is he going to get his touches? Of course. He's still got his touches, but we're going to move Randall around. He's going to be more explosive that way. He's going to have energy at the end of games to finish. I agree with all you guys. I thought the pace was better. Sims is a body. He's insurance. I like his hops. So he's a keeper. RJ, he had some nice catch and shoots, but he's still not finishing early in the game. He's got to be better at finishing around the rim. It's time. He can do it. He's got to make those bunnies. I wasn't surprised Deuce or Grimes didn't really get much burn. Last preseason IQ didn't play, but they're going to be a part of this team. We all know that. Tibbs is concerned about the rotations. My general takeaway, Sam, is I honestly believe Julius Randle should be excited. He should be very, very excited because this year, in my opinion, defensively, of course, Julius is going to have to exert energy and bring it every night. But we are going to be able to score much easier now. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like in that first half, Sam. Did you pop a vein like, oh, go to Randall on the low block? No, you could just watch It's just basketball now. Yeah. Now we're just cutting. We're moving without the ball. We got 5 guys on the court. I mean, we don't have to see Elfrid Payton anymore. It's a beautiful thing. That's all I got to say.
No, don't tell Sim that.
And Spree, when I looked at some of the shots that Randall got, his first shot of the game was a pass from Kemba Walker. He was wide open from 3. He didn't hit it, but it was wide open. It was an easy shot. Several of his shots were easy buckets where it was either him one-on-one, no other defenders around. And, of course, it's a preseason game, so there's not going to be a lot of double teaming and those type of things. But you can already see that he's going to be able to get shots easier. And I like what I've seen from him and Evan Fournier. I thought those two played a decent 2-man game, and that can be very, very lethal because Evan Fournier can pass way better than Reggie Bullock can pass. And he has more. Evan Fournier is just more versatile on the offensive side as far as scoring the basketball. So them two in a 2-man game, I think, I want to watch it develop.
Sim, this isn't complicated. We have more guys on the floor that can do more things, that can pass, that can shoot. It makes the game easy for your stars, that they don't have to do everything. That's the whole point of basketball. Yeah. Like, obviously, of course, we want the stars like LeBron James to take over, and LeBron's unselfish, of course. You need the stars. I'm not oblivious. Julius Randle down the stretch of games, I know where I want that ball going, and he can create for us. He's still going to be a big creator on. I think that we have other smart dudes around him that can create just as much as him. And like you said, Sim, he doesn't always have to create for himself now. youth that actually can play basketball. I mean, as much as I love Alec Burks, who to me, I'm kidding when I say he's MJ, but he has the. Alec Burks can just focus on shooting this year. He doesn't have to play point guard.
That's right.
Like last year, Sim, Tibbs was making miracles, just forcing guys to do things they shouldn't be doing. I feel like with this roster, assuming health, I can't control injuries, but assuming health, you actually have players that play the right positions. That's going to make this thing function. I don't know how good we'll be, but I was very encouraged what I saw. But that's all I got, man.
All right. Hey, Spree, I appreciate your call. Ladies and gentlemen,
peace.
Feel free to give us a call, 516-405-2246. I want to hear your take on what you saw tonight from the New York Knicks. As far as Julius Randle in scoring in the first half, as I said earlier, he had 10 points, 6 rebounds in the first half. He also had 2 assists and 2 steals. But I didn't feel like he had 10 points. And he took 10 shot attempts. I didn't feel like he took 10 shot attempts because there was so much going on offensively, with that included other people. There were possessions. He didn't have to touch the ball every single time down the floor. There were possessions where he did not touch the basketball. And he seemed, at least in the first half, he seemed fine with it. In the third quarter, when he was on the floor with Emmanuel Quickley and Derrick Rose, it looked a little bit more like last year's offense. Randle kind of took control and he was, he was handling the basketball and initiating the offense. And you seen him take a few shots there in that third quarter where I thought, we should have just went back and tried to do what we were doing. But I understand it's preseason and you're trying to figure out how does the team work, right? What do my rotations look like? What are your thoughts on Randle? Go ahead, Josh.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to preface my point by saying I don't think the Knicks ran anything schematically different than what they did last season. I thought a lot of the sets that they were running were pretty much a lot of the same offense. I think the difference was that they, like you mentioned, they have players who can be able to do more and knock down shots and be able to facilitate out of those sets. And as far as Randle's concerned, I totally agree with you. I felt like he was kind of forcing it a little bit more than what he should have been doing. And I think just, he kind of got, what's the word I'm looking for? Not lackadaisical, but content with, how the game was going and the score and everything like that. And I think that was more of the reason why he was doing what he was doing instead of, him not being able to get into the flow of the offense. So I think you're absolutely right. As long as the Knicks continue to play team basketball and run those sets and get shots early in the shot clock, I think they'll be fine. But Randle has to do that as well. He can be able to facilitate and be able to have players run through him where he's able to set things up and make decisions early on in the shot clock.
Yeah, and I think you will. There might be a little bit of an adjustment for him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just based on the way the team flowed over the last 2 seasons. Might be a little bit of an adjustment for him, but I don't think he'll have a hard time adjusting at all.
Hey, Sim.
Yeah.
So on top of Josh's point, I think for Randle, it's going to be a little bit of, like you said, an adjustment because the fact is that last year, Randle played with hesitant shooters, and Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier are not hesitant shooters. They are going to put the ball in the bucket or they're going to take the shot. They're not going to hesitate to put in the basket. And Randle's going to have to understand that and understand that, hey, I've got other guys now that can make baskets for me. So if I see a drop in my scoring, maybe my rebounding picks up, my defense picks up. Because he's not going to, like you say, he's not going to have that whole pressure of having to hold the whole team on. Now, when the game's on the line, Randle's going to get the ball. There's no doubt in my mind. But, we also talked about with Kemba Walker, and I said this before when we got him, Kemba's going to make Randle's job a lot easier because they finally have a point guard that can get him easy buckets. And Randle's job is just going to be to finish.
Yeah. I mean... I don't even know if his average points per game is going to drop this season. Maybe it does a little bit, but I don't know. He may get more touches his percentage from the field may rise. because he's getting easier shots and he's able to go one-on-one more. His free throw percentage or his free throw attempts may go up because he's able to go one-on-one and people aren't able to handle him.
Right.
Yeah.
The Pacers went zone a little bit today. They went zone a little bit today. And the Knicks were able to pick it apart pretty easily. Right? And you seen Randall, get the dunk off of the pass from Taj Gibson. Why did he get that dunk? Because the floor was spread out. So once you put Randall in the middle and you got him the ball in the middle, he's basically one-on-one with whoever was there in the middle. Then you got the guys in the right spot. He penetrates a little bit, takes a dribble towards the basket, guys collapse. He's got people to kick it out to that can score the basketball. So we were easily able to pick that zone apart because there were shooters to spread the floor out and make it a little bit more space for Randall to operate when he did catch the ball in the middle.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
it's crazy, Ray, when Josh was saying earlier. It sounds like it's actually like we got talent this year on the team.
Right.
No, we actually got talent.
Right. And
But
go ahead. Isaiah.
no, go ahead, sir.
Boo!
No, I was gonna say, even though they weren't doing anything different schematically, even though they weren't doing anything different schematically, when you have players that know how to play, you don't really need a lot of schemes. They know
Steph, you can say
they know how to read
Steph,
defense, how to play off of each other.
Steph, don't be scared to say it. Just say we got better talent from last year. Just say we got better
no doubt about it.
I mean, that's obvious.
No doubt about it.
It ain't rocket science. I mean, you got good players. You're going to play better.
Yeah. So Steph,
But to say that the Knicks didn't have any talent last season, I think that's ridiculous.
right.
So
Steph,
who said that? No, who said
Young
that?
talent.
Hey, hold up. Chill out. Calm down. Steph, let me ask you, because one of the things we talked about during the offseason is, can Tom Thibodeau utilize his players, right? Utilize the players so that we can score the basketball. And I think you just said, and maybe you already answered the question, you didn't see them doing, too much different. But I think there were a few things different. I mean, did you see anything different?
No. I did see things different. What I don't know is, is that a set offense they were running, or if they were just, playing off of each other because they know how to play. So what I did see was different people initiating the offense. Right. So there was time Kemba initiated. There was times when Fournier initiated. There was time when Randall initiated. And that's what I wanted to see. I also saw off the rebound, different people bringing the ball up to court. It wasn't whoever got it always looking for Kemba because he was the point guard. Mm-hmm. Whoever got it brought the ball up. And I think that also helps our offense and makes us less predictable. So that was, that was different as well. And what was beautiful to see was when somebody drove and passed out to the 3-point line, that player had options. Either they was going to shoot the three or they was going to fake and come in and drive into the lane. It wasn't like, well, if they close out quickly and I don't get this three, I'm going to have to pass it to somebody else, right? So you could just see how skilled these players were. So I definitely did see different things offensively. I was pleased with what I saw offensively, but was that a different scheme, or was he just like, just play,
And I basically seen the same sets, the Spain pick and roll, the two big men coming to set the screen, and the point guard making a decision off of that. I seen a 1-4 pick and roll where they wanted to get Julius Randle the ball. Instead of him driving to the basket, he did drive to the basket, go one-on-one, and be able to kick out off of that action. That's some of the same stuff he was doing last season. The only difference is now that the Knicks have players that can make shots early in the clock, you don't have to depend on the isolation
and
late in the shot clock.
And that's what I was saying yesterday.
But there wasn't a lot of it just didn't seem Randall focused. So if they was running the same things, it wasn't just through Randall.
Right.
Yeah, and the good thing that I seen today, right, was that Julius Randall had 20 points on like good 8 to 13 shooting or something like that. I'm honest, to be real, I didn't even notice until they showed the stats, because again the offense was moving so quick, and guys were getting up shots. And again, you had Fournier making shots, RJ making shots, Kemba making shots. I mean, this is like the first time in a long time I seen Kemba, a point guard on a Knicks team, come off the screen and shoot a pull-up mid-range shot. It was just refreshing to see it, things like and hit it and things like that. And again, like you said, you got somebody penetrating, kicking it out, and he has so many more options. You got Fournier in the corner. I mean, you got Taj hitting the shot. You got RJ up top. So again, you have so many options. I mean, again, there was another play where it was, I believe it was Kemba and Fournier, and Fournier went back door, got an easy layup. Again, there's just so many options, and the offense is just moving, and you just feel so like last year, the last couple of years, I really didn't know how we were going to score. There were times where it's like you can really see why this team could go 5 to 6 minutes without scoring a bucket. Now it's like again, and now I'm not trying to overreact because again, this is one preseason game versus a Pacers team that wasn't fully healthy. But again, you feel comfortable seeing these guys put up 125 points easily. You had these guys at the halftime that scored, I think, almost 70 points, and it wasn't like there was a hot shooting streak. It wasn't like we shot. We had a historic NBA first half from the Knicks that shot 13 threes in the first half to get to 70 points. No, this was just the team moving the ball, doing simple plays. A couple pick and roll, Spain pick and roll, Spanish pick and roll. Shout out to Guillermo, he loves that dang word. But you just seen the offense flow so easily, and it's just really refreshing to see that because I really don't think we've seen that in a very long time with a Knicks team.
Yeah, I think something we've seen a little bit more tonight, and hopefully it develops throughout the season, was backdoor cutting.
Yeah.
Right, several times, and sometimes we missed it. A couple of times we hit it. But those backdoor cuts, I think, can be lethal for this team and really keep an opposing defense on guard and on their toes and afraid that, this team, there's a lot of man movement, a lot of ball movement. And that's something that I've seen different than last season. And part of it is because we have guys who understand just the basketball IQ is higher. It's not even just that these guys can score the basketball. It's the basketball IQ that I think is higher.
Correct. Nobody has to tell you to go back door.
Exactly.
If they overplaying you, you automatically know to do that.
Even Knox got one late in the game.
Got one late in the game. You know what I mean? I also seen that they were looking to get the ball up early. You seen Obi Toppin fly out a few times in that second unit so that he can get behind the defense early, get a quick bucket, get a quick layup.
Right.
That right there, I think, is going to be, that can be really big for this team. You got Obi that can leak out. You got Mitchell Robinson when he comes back and he's healthy that can leak out. And you can throw those lobs to them, half court lob to either one of those guys, and they can catch it.
And they go,
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that can really add to the offense and create some trouble for opposing teams, which means, especially when you're playing, we were missing Mitchell Robinson. You had Jericho Sims in the lineup, who's, he played decent tonight. But when you're missing those offensive rebounds, one of the ways that you can stop a team from going to the glass is by getting the ball and getting out and going. Because now they're like, if we miss this shot, they're going to throw the ball up the floor. Obi Toppin might be leaking out. Mitchell Robinson might be leaking out. So we can't stand here and wait to rebound. We got to get back on defense, so they're going to get an easy bucket.
Right.
Yeah. And Sim, it's crazy because last year, we were just that pace sometimes, man. That pace was just gut-wrenching to see that we can't even get fast break points. We can't even do this. But now again, like Steph said earlier, we're not even fast breaking now. It's literally just Obi. Listen, I'm serious when I say this. Obi looked probably he's probably been this is the most comfortable he's been probably since college. Yeah. Because this is probably the most comfortable he looked since college. He looked good. He was just running. He got a dunk. Again, to me last year, I feel like we didn't get to use Obi the right way. And again, it was just Well, what's funny, man? See, I don't know. I don't like when you guys laugh.
Nothing.
No, I don't like when you two laugh.
Nothing,
Y'all two laugh. It's something that's never good.
Go ahead, Steph.
I was going to say, to piggyback off of Isaiah talking about Obi, you could tell Obi's been really working on his game. He got a mid-range off the dribble. He got a mid-range off the catch. He started mid-post extended. His feet were together. With that move he made last year, he probably would have tripped and tied his feet up, in a knot, and he posted up. He got the shot blocked, but he posted up.
Doing a summer league. That's what he was doing in summer league.
But this is basketball. Last year, what he was doing, to me, he was just a runner and a jumper, and everybody was very excited, and I was not. What we're seeing now is actual basketball skill.
Yeah.
Right? That he
actually had an off season, which is paramount.
Well, listen, some people came in with that. There was an expectation. He was the 8th pick. There was an expectation that he would be better than he was, that he was NBA ready, and he wasn't. And that was my criticism on him, for him. But this year, and I always said, what is his bankable skill? He doesn't have a bankable skill. But what he showed today, this guy can be, if he continues to build off of that, can be really, really good.
He could be
stand by.
That could be a really big game changer for the Knicks.
Absolutely.
For the Knicks, you know what I mean? And listen, I'm waiting until the preseason is over before I make my season prediction. I've seen a lot of people, early before training camp even started, with doing, season predictions and all of that stuff. I'm waiting until training camp and preseason is over. And I'm going to give my season's prediction on October the 16th. I'm telling you the date right now, October the 16th. That's when I'm giving my season's prediction. All right, just a couple of days before the actual season begins. Now, because I want to see what happens. I'm not, while I was watching the game, all these crazy, wild thoughts started going in my mind. I took a pillow and hit him, was like, get out of here, get out of there. Don't think about that right now.
That's a Kool-Aid drink.
Right? Don't do it yet. Don't think about it yet. Just stay calm. Stay calm. So, I'm trying to stay calm because I just love what I've seen on the offensive side, and they still got after it defensively. Go ahead, Nate.
One thing that kind of irked me a little bit in the game, and maybe this is just something that I see more and more, like we talked about with a 3-point shot, off balance and all that stuff. But I've seen more from the Knicks where they drive all the way to the cup and then kick it back out. And for me, that's just asinizing. I don't understand why. Get the easy basket, like Mike would say all the time.
Okay, well, Nate, you're breaking up big time, but.
Oh, can you hear me?
But the purpose in doing that, though, Nate, is to make the defense collapse. Right? It may look to you like, it may look to you like they dribbled all the way to the basket and then passed it out, but really they dribbled in and the defense collapsed and they didn't have a good shot. So that's why they kicked it out. You know what I mean? And, I just think that's a big, in my opinion, there's a big difference there. And, but instead of just saying, oh, well, they're just dribbling in and then passing it out, there's a purpose. Let's collapse the defense. We'll kick it out. Now we got the defense scrambling. We kick it, swing it around the perimeter. You got them scrambling again. Then we can either get an open three or another lane to the basket.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of didn't understand what he was trying to say.
Wait, hold on. We have a no crackling policy on the panel.
Word
Get
up.
your mics and your headphones together.
Right.
You out of here.
If you're Emmanuel Quickley's coach, Tony Martin, all right, Coach Martin. Coach Martin, we can let you slide, but you got to come in correct, man. Come in correct.
Listen. Before we continue, Sim, I just wanted to say that we got 430 something people in here, but we only got 140. We only got 150 likes. Come on, y'all. The Knicks just won. We got Sim here. We got Josh. We got Queen. We got Tony Crow. Come on now with the leather couch. Come on, man. You don't get better than this. Gotta get them likes up, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Smash that like button.
Oh no, go ahead. So this is my show, but go ahead.
No, go ahead. What was you gonna say, man? What you gonna say? Don't repeat something that you already said. Say something new.
Yeah, you know what? You can go ahead because I really was about to repeat.
About to repeat something that you just said. Exactly.
I literally forgot what I was about to say.
Right. I was gonna ask from Alec Burks. Did you see anything from Alec Burks that or I mean, we didn't get a chance to see Alec Burks. He played what? 18 minutes, 8 points. 2 assists. The one thing that I get concerned about in that second unit is that there's going to be over dribbling. I did feel like there was a little bit more dribbling in the second unit than in the first unit, but it wasn't terrible. Like there was just a few times where I felt like Alec Burks took one dribble and made the pass instead of just making the pass first. You know what I mean? Where he didn't need to take that dribble. And I feel like those little things, it changes the pace of your offense, right. Because instead of saying, okay, boom, I'm going to hand this off to him here. Let me take 2 dribbles first, and then I hand it off, right? And it can slow down the timing, some things like that. But that's one area I was concerned in that second unit. It wasn't too bad for me, though. It wasn't too bad tonight. But anything about Alec Burks?
I think it's great. It's simple to say, man. Alec Burks was Alec Burks. That's kind of what you expect for him. You expect the 10-point range for him, kind of roughly 10, 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
Coming off the bench, shoot a couple threes, do a couple in and out moves, get in the mid range a little bit. Alex Burks. It was, he does what he does. That's him.
Yeah. Anybody else thoughts on Alec Burks? So, tonight, probably not many thoughts because he didn't, he wasn't that much of a.
My question with Burks is how much is he going to buy in as far as accepting his role?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, because I think Quickley's gonna progress. Obviously Rose is gonna have control of the offense in the second unit. I don't think he's going to have as many opportunities where he's relied upon. So now he could actually show off and really get in his bag. And I love Burks. I want him back. But what like you said, he's that type of guy that actually has to make that dribble before the pass. It's almost like a rhythm thing for him. There's players like that that. It could be detrimental, or we're just gonna have to figure that out, or he's gonna have to figure it out. You know what I mean? But as talented as he is, I think ultimately for him to be at his best, he needs more minutes. You know what I mean? More time. Like I don't know if he's the just come in, light it up, and come out. He was that last season, but he also had opportunities here and there. I don't know if he's going to want to wait for those opportunities again, because if guys are progressing, he's going to get less of them.
Yeah, but I think that he is the kind of guy that's going to wait for those opportunities, right? He played in Utah program. He's been a guy that's come off the bench, So I do think that he'll wait for those opportunities and play within the offense. I don't think we have to worry about him playing outside of the offense or being worried about shots or anything like that. I just get concerned that, he's it's just his game. Just, his game is the kind of guy that's going to, like we were just saying, take that dribble before he does anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What it is though? I think we have 3 guys that could legitimately make a run for 6-man, right? So are they all gonna be able to buy in and get to their peak? You know what I mean? Like you put Burks on another guy on another team where he's the guy off the bench, like it's coming lighted up. He could do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Quickley ultimately is going to be that kind of guy as well, and obviously Rose is that because that's what he knows how to do. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm not saying it won't happen because they did it successfully last year. I just hope he's really bought in and it's trying to be a long-term plan, and it wasn't like
right.
Because a lot of people think he's going to be trade bait.
Right.
I mean, what I will say about Alex Burks is that again, he's a journeyman. I think he knows his role in the NBA by now. About what he is, who he is, what kind of game he is, and I do agree with Josh. I mean, possibly he could be a trade chip again. I think he's pretty happy. I mean, usually a player like him, he was getting $5 million here, $4 million here, $6 million. Now he's at 10. Now he's at the $8 to $9, $10 million range right now. So he's getting a good paycheck. He could potentially, if he does fill his type of way, again, it's $10 million for a microwave scorer. Most NBA contending teams will take that in a heartbeat and maybe get a first round pick, maybe a late first round, second round pick for him. I mean, worst case, we're in a good spot with Alex Burks. And I think he's perfectly fine. I think he knows his role, knows who he is. He's been a journeyman. So I really do think, to me, Alex Burks is like the 68th thing to worry about for the Knicks, when it comes to the season.
Right, but I mean, what is his role? His role is the same as Quickley. His role is the same as D Rose. They in that second unit. You're gonna run the offense, and whoever gets the open shot shoots. That's just what it is. And on any given night, one person may have more points than the other. But I'll tell you this about Burke. Maybe Quickley, maybe, but if we need a bucket, he can get it.
That's true.
And we've seen that multiple times down the stretch. Rose can do the same thing as well, but he's somebody I feel comfortable with. In the waning moments of the game, if we need a bucket and the ball is in his hands, he's known for clutch shots.
Steph, I'm gonna say it right here. I'm gonna do a hot take, Josh style. I guarantee there's gonna be 4 Alec Burke games this season.
That's not a hot take. That's not a hot take. I mean, there was more. Well, but before we get to that, let me get to Tom Thibodeau. Let's hear Tom Thibodeau in his post game interview, post game press conference. Man, this is Tom Thibodeau, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea what Isaiah is talking about. Listen, we let him on the show for charity, ladies and gentlemen.
It's good just to get out and compete against somebody different. But coming here, first game of the year at home, establishing where we are. And the big thing is to compete. And like in any game, you want to understand why you either win or lose, and look at the things subjectively. Tomorrow, look at the film, make corrections, and concentrate on improvement. There's a long way to go. And so it's a good first step, but we understand what this is. This is the preseason, but every time they throw it up, it's important to compete and establish how we're going to compete.
Preseason and at 67 points in the first half, your offense was flowing from the start. What did you get from your new backcourt?
Well, I think the unselfishness by everybody to make plays for each other, to space the floor, to cut, to play off the pass, make the right rim reads, get downhill, spray it out, make the extra pass. I think when you play like that, the game becomes easier and you get rhythm. I thought Kemba and Evan were really, really good. Julius was Julius. RJ got going. Our starters really played well. Taj gave us really good minutes. And then our bench guys did a good job. And then I didn't like our defense at the end of the third. So we'll take a hard look at that. But it's, we have to strive to be a 48-minute team, and we're nowhere near that right now. So, and conditioning is a big part of that.
Yeah.
Coach, when you think about where you guys finished last year at the pace of play, what are you looking to do this year, and how would you assess this preseason game in terms of?
Well, I don't get wrapped up in pace. Like there's a lot of teams that are high in pace and low in wins, and so that's what I'm concerned with, us winning. So I want us to be strong on both sides of the ball, and so there's a lot of different ways to go. It's just like taking the three. I want to take more threes, but I want them to be the right threes. And we talked about that in our first team meeting, how we were going to generate the type of threes that we wanted, and to have a balance, to get into the paint and spray it out and make good rim reads and do that sort of thing. So I think we also have to stress execution. So it's not just pace and it's everything. It's how you space the floor, how you push the ball, how you execute. But more importantly, we have to get stops. The rebounding is not where it needs to be. So that's something that we can focus in on. But I thought taking care of the ball, making the extra pass, that was really good.
What was it about Kemba that you liked the best, the first taste of him?
Yeah, just, coming in, setting the tone, making the right plays. The game tells you what to do, and I think he reads the game extremely well. And that veteran leadership, his shot-making ability, is very good in the pick and roll. He puts a lot of pressure on you. And he's unselfish. If he gets blitzed, he's going to get off the ball. He's not going to fight the pressure with pressure. I thought we made the extra pass out of the blitz pretty effectively. And that's something that you have to work on. And so you need everyone. Timing and spacing is probably the biggest thing with offense. So everyone being in the right spots. If one person's not in the right spot, it's going to make the group look bad. Same as with the defense. If one person doesn't do their job, it doesn't work.
RJ looks very comfortable putting up those catch and shoot jumpers, but he's always been a guy who's been kind of a downhill guy first. How do you want him to read those situations as he becomes more of a jump shooter?
Same. We talked about last year, he started slowly, but put a lot of extra time in at night. And it paid off for him, and I think that's given him a lot of confidence. And it was great to see him in the gym last night. So he's back to his routine. Sometimes in training camp, it's if we're practicing twice, he doesn't have the time to do that. But his commitment is special. He's a great kid, hard worker, disciplined, and he'll keep getting better. He's only 21, but he's putting a lot of work into the game.
With that second unit, what do you like about the three-guard lineup with Burks, Quickley?
Yeah, the playmaking. I think it's and they play off each other really well, and so all three can handle the ball. All three, they're very effective in dribble handoffs. They're very effective with the pitch. They're very effective downhill and reading defense, and so I think that puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and so you can get an advantage in terms of a mismatch. And then I don't know whose shot it is. We can call your play, and then you have the responsibility to make the right read, and then hit the open man. Whoever the open man is, that's who we're looking for.
For the 58th pick of the draft, does Jericho just look very polished or just ready for this? I mean, more than most 58.
Yeah. Well, the thing is you need everybody over the course of a season, and I'm very pleased with our rookies. They were here all summer, all fall. They live in the gym. They get better daily. They're part of the green team, which is also known as the dream team in our gym. So they go after people, and so the veterans have done a great job with our young guys. So they're helping them. They're teaching them the tricks of the trade, and we got great veterans. So it's a really good mix of guys.
Kemba, at first unit, what do you think of the spacing tonight?
Oh, it opens up the floor, and they know how to play off each other. They've had some experience together. I thought Julius made a lot of good plays early on where he moved around, he got the ball hop in, he made good plays. He drove it when he should have driven it. He shot it when he's harder to guard like that, and we can play off of different guys. So I'm very pleased with that overall.
1:43 left in the second quarter. You called a timeout. What did you not like that caused you to get that timeout?
Probably some defense. No, we just like the thing is, it's early on, but it was a mental mistake, and so I think it's important to correct those things. And no one's going to be perfect. We'll make mistakes, and if we hustle, we'll cover up for that. But when you make the same mistake twice, we can't allow that to keep going. So we wanted to fix it.
3 turnovers tonight, and none from the point guards. What did you see that made you guys successful?
Yeah, I think the execution. That's what the big thing was, making the right reads. Not fighting pressure, not trying to split double teams and that sort of thing. I thought the spacing was good. I thought guys made quick decisions. And when you play like that, the game is easy.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Tom Thibodeau giving his post-game interview. And I want to get back to the panel and find out what these guys think about what they heard from Tom Thibodeau. Ladies and gentlemen, so let's get back to the group. And Tony, I'm going to start with you. What did you hear from Tom Thibodeau? And by the way, Kemba Walker, we're going to listen to Kemba Walker next. What you like that you heard from Tom Thibodeau?
I mean, he's holding them accountable first game of preseason, off the jump. I love the fact that he talked about, I mean, the young guys are going to have to earn a spot and be ready for it, but it's not going to be given to them. It's not going to be given to them. And I said this early, this is the first time that we've had rookies and there's no responsibility for them except, improve and be ready. But it's not like we got to throw them in the starting lineup, throw them in a role that they may not be prepared for. And Tibbs, he's going to have them prepared for everything, but they got to earn it and be ready for when their time comes.
Exactly.
And that's a great thing for us, man. We never had that situation before.
Because your rookies can now develop and grow naturally.
Right.
And they can grow in your system. And so now you really start to build that plug and play type of a program where you say, you know what? Derrick Rose is out. Let me throw McBride in there. It's going to be a little bit different, but he can do the same thing.
Right.
And he can get the job done. Obviously people have a difference in ability, size, speed, court vision, all that kind of stuff. But you develop your system and guys know how you play. You have certain principles, and then those players figure out how they fit inside those principles in that system. And when they get into play, they're ready to go. And what I like about Tom Thibodeau is that everything seems so very structured and rigid, and you know what to expect. Evan Fournier spoke about this. You know what to expect. You know what time you're coming out the game. It may not be on the second, but you know just about what time, you've been playing. You look up at the clock, it's 6 minutes left. You look over at the bench or at the scorer's table because it's coming. Right. Let me get this last shot up right quick. Right? Let me get this last shot up right quick before I go out.
Hey, Sam, there was a point I heard Clyde say, I was listening at this point, and he's like, yeah, Quickley might not ever get in the game because Fournier keeps going to the line.
Right. Fournier might have known, said, let me get to the line right quick. Let me go ahead and see if I can get fouled. You know what I mean? But I do. I love the fact that Tom Thibodeau just has everything structured and guys know what to expect. And because they know what to expect, they can settle into their role, into their spot. And I think it helps them play better.
Yeah, I mean, Sam, I think he alluded to, I don't know exactly what he said, but he alluded to it, that he's trying to get everybody into the mode of playing, for the regular season. And that's basically what we talked about, why he started Taj. This is because if Noel is not ready, Taj is going to start, basically. And the reason why he, went with the rotations or whatever to try to get everybody used to how they're going to play in the game. And that's basically what he said in the press conference. And at this point, this is Tibbs. So, I feel like now I'm not going to even talk about the rotations anymore. I'm not going to talk about why he's leaving people in longer. than he does. Why is this one in the fourth quarter? We up 20. This is just Tibbs. Like, we just wasting our breath at this point. This is just, and there's some negatives to that, but there's some positives, as you alluded to, where everybody knows what's gonna happen. It's like clockwork.
Yep.
I would like to add to that based on what we're talking about. The question was asked, why did Thibodeau call a timeout at this point in the game? Knicks were up by 20, like right before halftime or something like that. And there was a couple of times where he did call timeouts and kind of was angry at players, mostly the rookies, the younger guys. And I think that is important. That's an important teaching moment for those young guys. When we're up by 20 points, don't let your foot off the gas. You know what I mean? Teaching them mentally to still be, in the game mode, even though we're up by 20 points, so that when it comes down to it and the game is close, 2 or 3 point game, they're always going to be into it mentally already. Right. Because if you can be up 20, how is it going to be when the game is really out there close in the line? So Thibodeau's always coaching. That's the one thing I do like about him. And the second thing in that interview that I want to point out, he said he likes to have an Alec Burks out there to run that 3-guard rotation, which I thought was very interesting. I know we have our differences on how we look at Alec Burks as far as his positioning within that second group. But Thibodeau really likes it, apparently. He likes Alec Burks out there to be that third guard. And I think, we still have to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah. My argument isn't with Alec Burks himself. To me, it's just having those 3 players are similar to me, but at different sizes. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Just, Emmanuel Quickley is the little guy, and then Derrick Rose, and then Alec Burks. But, they kind of,
it's crazy. Alec Burks doesn't look 6'6".
I know, right?
He really doesn't look 6'6". He looked like he could be like a good 6'2", 6'1". But like I said, like Steph said earlier, I mean, there is positives to Coach Tibbs' the way he does things with again building chemistry is good and all that stuff. I would just say, sometimes you got to be careful because you just don't want an injury to happen to a key player going for a playoff team in garbage time when it could have been prevented.
Okay. Let me get to a phone call here. Caller, you are live.
No.
You are live, please.
Let me say this.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me your name and where you're from, caller.
My name is Jamal from the Bronx, New York.
What's going on with you, man? How you feeling? How you feel about the game tonight?
I'm feeling good, man. Oh, man, this is the best Knicks team I've seen. I'm 28 now, so as a Knicks fan and my whole career as a Knicks fan, this might be the most balanced team I've seen. You know what I mean? Oh, man, I'm happy to be a Knicks fan.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Very balanced team. We can score all over the floor. You got guys that can play defense. And, we're asking a lot of questions about, will this guy be happy and that guy be happy? But I get a real sense that these guys are really out there playing for each other and trying to win together and want to be a winning team and want to eventually be a championship team. And I think these guys are in the battle together. You know what I mean? Which I think is going to go a long way.
It's a beautiful thing. Like, I could see, like, now Julius Randle, it's not as much pressure. So when this guy misses a shot or, and we got to always go back to him and depend on him so heavily, now we don't have to depend on him so heavily, man. It's good to watch.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's definitely good to watch. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this team grows and, what they're able to do when they get out there on the floor, because I think they're going to scare some teams, and they might just be one of these teams that they don't have any super duper duper stars, but they have enough really, really, really talented and good players that they can scare some people and make some noise. I'm not making any predictions right now. Like I said, I'm making my predictions on the 16th, but I'm just getting a really good feeling from this team.
I'm not going to make no prediction. I want to say this, too. I live in Florida now. I'm in Miami. I got some Knicks tickets, for January 26th. And it's just crazy because I'm watching the game, and I could just see as far as, like, you can forget about RJ and you can forget about Kemba. And I feel like that's scary for the other teams, man. As soon as you start forgetting that we got other guys that could, you know, do some damage, even Alec Burks. You forget about him and he hit, you know, open three-pointers. It's like, it's looking like a lot of trouble for other teams.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Hey, I appreciate your time, brother. Appreciate the call. What was your name again? What was your name again?
My name is Jamal.
Jamal, thank you for calling in, my man. Appreciate you.
Brother. All right, have a good one.
Listen, if you use that horn one more time, you're gonna have some real issues. I'm gonna tell you right now. Use that horn one more time, and
Can we listen to Kemba Walker now? Can we listen to Kemba?
Hey, Sam, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Coach, Tibbs definitely answered my questions about Burks in his comments, because, I mean, I guess if everybody is just playing their game and making the right reads and the right play, and then we're winning, ultimately, I think everything's gonna be fine. So yeah. I just wanted to add that little tidbit.
Yeah, no doubt. And I got a caller on the line. We're gonna listen to Kemba Walker, and caller, I'm gonna come right back and ask you about Kemba Walker and what you heard from Kemba Walker. All right.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and get this on and going. It's Kemba Walker, ladies and gentlemen.
It was a pretty unreal feeling, to be honest. You know, when I first arrived, just on the ride here, I'm just like, wow, like I'm really just back home, you know. It's like things just came full circle, you know. You know, just from where I started, you know, from where everything started for me. So yeah, it's a really just surreal feeling, but a great feeling. You know, I'm really happy to be here.
It looked like you were nervous, but were there nerves entering the game?
No, not really, not at all. I mean, it's preseason, so you know, right now it's just kind of the time to get the rhythm and the flow, and you know, just being out there with my teammates, getting to know those guys, their tendencies, and you know, things of that nature. We're all just trying to get a feel for each other. You know, especially me and Evan, you know, two new guys. So that's really it. It wasn't really many nerves tonight. You know, not saying that I don't, you know, ever get nerves, but you know, tonight, not really. Those guys made me feel really comfortable, actually. So,
what were you most happy about the way you rounding out?
The translation from practice. You know, we've been working so hard in practice. Just really moving the basketball, you know, just trying to make the right plays. And I thought tonight we did that. You know, we really moved the basketball really well. You know, guys took open shots, you know, when they were open. If not, drove and, you know, made a play for the next guy. That's how it's supposed to be.
How's your body feel?
I feel good. You know, just trying to keep up with it. You know, just taking care of myself as best as I could.
Just talking to RJ a little bit, how it seems like for all this team did last year, expectations still are weird that Vegas has them low, and GM survey came out today, and league GMs didn't pick you guys in the top four. None of them did in the East. Are you motivated by that? Are you surprised by that?
I could care less. It's like that every year. You know what I mean? Like teams come out of nowhere all the time. Most of these GMs never play basketball. Let's be real. Who cares what they think? I could care less. Yeah, we believe in ourselves. You know, we're gonna play so hard every night, and that's gonna give us a chance to win every night. You know, so I could care less what the GM has to say.
Was there one play tonight that you were really proud of, or just felt really great?
Everything. I think one play was the fast break with me and Taj, you know, because me and Taj, you know, I've known that dude for so long, going all the way back to, you know, me going to Brooklyn and playing against his neighborhood, you know, my neighborhood versus his. Like, I've known Todd for so long, so that was a great moment for me and him. And, you know, we had a nice big hug after that and all that. But yeah, that was a very dope moment for me.
What's it been like for you there's so many guys who say it's hard to go back to your home and play them when you're young, but you're in your 30s now.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have handled being home differently if you had done it 10 years ago?
Yeah. I'm just older, like you said. You know, I think if I was a little younger, things would definitely be a little different. Just because I think when you're younger, it's just kind of hard to say no, you know. But at this point in my career, it's not hard, you know. And, you know, I know how to move around, and I'm just at a different point in my career, you know. I definitely think it would have been harder, but now, you know, it's not.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kemba Walker. And you know, before I even get to the caller, I don't know how many of you are watching the Wu-Tang series, but his cadence and the way, like, just the tone of his voice, to me, sounds like the dude that's playing Ghostface in the series. I don't know why.
D-Lover. I was gonna say that.
It sounds like D-Love. Just it sounds like him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, maybe they know each other or something. Or maybe they're related or something. Who knows? But he sounds like him a little bit. Let me get to the caller. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
It's me.
Hello?
I'm here.
Yeah, how you doing? What's your name?
Christopher.
Chris, what's going on, Chris? Tell me what you think about what you heard from Kemba Walker.
I'm calling from Oklahoma.
From Oklahoma. Okay.
And I have been on Man. It's Knicks and 4 hour love of the game.
Okay.
And the streets are buzzing. And I met Stephanie. And I just wanted to tell Stephanie salute to her real quick.
All right. Well, thank you. Steph is right here. She heard you.
And I just wanted to give my take on how I'm a big Oklahoma City Thunder fan and a New York Knicks fan.
Okay.
I just wanted to give my take on of what I heard on Kemba Walker real quick, and I wanted to give you on how many wins I think the Knicks will have this year.
Okay, go for it.
I think what I heard of Kemba Walker is that he feels pretty good with his knee, and it's going to be amazing if he stays healthy this year.
I agree.
Again.
I agree.
And I subscribe to your channel on YouTube, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the Knicks winning 60 games. Last year, I had them winning 42. And I also watch Knicks Fan TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to tell you, man, I will call you back during the next preseason game. And it was good talking to you.
Okay.
And what's your name? So I can remember.
My name is Sim. S-I-M. My name is Sim.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, Sim.
Thank you. I appreciate your call, and keep watching.
Appreciate you.
Keep watching everything with Knicks
before
Nation.
I go, salute to you, Sim, for what you're doing, having people call in. Salute to you for opening a phone line, man.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And what's your name again? What's your name again?
Chris.
That's right, Chris.
From Oklahoma.
All right, Chris. Well, thank you for your time, and keep following Knicks Nation. We appreciate you. That was Chris from Oklahoma. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it. Any thoughts from what you heard from Kemba Walker?
I'll start. I mean, first and foremost, just the way I felt about Derrick Rose when you hear him talk in the press conference, it's hard to not love Kemba Walker and everything that he brings to the table. And again, I'm just hoping that his knee is able to hold up. I know he said that he felt okay. But if everything kind of works out, I mean, I think the Knicks are really going to do some things this year and shock some people, shock Vegas and shock whatever other media outlet that had the Knicks winning less than 40 games or something crazy like that. So stay healthy. I think, everything will kind of work itself out if he does that, and it'll be great for us.
Yeah. Steph, any thoughts on what you heard from Kemba?
Yeah, I mean, like Josh said, he's easy to root for.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he's focused. He doesn't care what the general managers say. And that for him to even say they never play basketball, it's just a little grit about that. You know what I mean? Like we know what we doing in our locker room, and what we trying to do. Who cares?
Right.
And like I said, I'm very, very high on the Knicks. If Kemba is relatively healthy, it's a wrap, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a wrap. So I'm really looking forward to the season.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, in the first quarter, Kemba was out there. He went to the bench. He got a little ovation, and then in walks Derrick Rose, and I'm looking like, damn, this is our point guard. This is our starting and backup point guard right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was just great to see. Something that I did notice is the way that Tom Thibodeau used Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose in that second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Derrick Rose was out there. Kemba came in 2-3 minutes, and then Derrick Rose came back in, and then Kemba came back in. Right, so he was just kind of boom, boom, boom. I don't know if it's always going to be that way, and maybe he was trying to see, what they look like with different lineups. But I did realize that he was, kind of flip-flopping a little bit when he got to the late in the second quarter, and I think even, some late in the third quarter he did it that way too. So that's going to be something to watch and see how he uses them and tries to maximize their minutes while also maximizing their health.
Right.
Right. So we will see how that goes. Isaiah, I don't know. It looked like you had something to say.
No, Sim. Everything was great.
All right. Well, I got something to say. Oh, you have something.
Right.
I wanted to talk about Knox and his little bit of minutes. I was a little disappointed when I saw the rotation and we down into the fourth quarter. He not getting it. I'm like, it's over. It's wrap. He's not part of the rotation at all. And I know he was hoping. He's trying to crack the rotation. It's not looking good. But in that little bit of time, I liked what I saw. I just wish, and I've said this before, if he was, if we stuck with him like we stuck with Obi during that tough time, I just wonder where he would be right now.
And the broadcast booth did hint at, real quick, Tony, I think the broadcast booth did hint at the fact that he's headed down the same path like a Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, they did say that.
So I think he does have some of that. I think they have that kind of insider knowledge about what's going to happen with Kevin Knox.
I mean, if he plays out the season, I think he's going to get his opportunity. Frank got his opportunity during the season. I think Tibbs he keeps saying it. Everybody got to, I forgot how he worded it, but basically we need everybody. That's what he says. We need everybody. Right. So, as long as he stays ready to go, just like them rookies, stay ready. And to your point, Steph, I saw the same thing. I was encouraged by his little 2-3 minutes, whatever it was. You know what I mean? He played hard. He had that backdoor cut. He fought for a rebound, like things that he didn't typically do throughout his career. You know what I mean? And he knows. He see what happened with Frank. You know what I mean? He's seen this is his opportunity to not even just audition for us, but audition for the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, we talking about Kevin Knox, right?
Yeah.
I mean, with Kevin Knox, man, I mean, I do agree with every guy. This is pretty much his last chance. He's seen what Dennis Rodriguez, seen what Frank Ntilikina. I mean, again, I think everybody knows how I feel about Kevin Knox. I just don't think he's an NBA player, but
Wow.
Listen, man, if he I just don't think he's an NBA player. I really don't. He's probably a good young man. You know, he has a bright future. He made some chicken in the NBA. He'll be fine. But you know, hopefully, listen, he does get some playing time. He can build up his trade value and hopefully get a second round pick maybe out of it. That'd be good. I'd be happy with that.
Well, you know, in order for him to get a chance, I think it's going to be Obi Toppin has to miss some games, or maybe Alec Burks has to miss some games. Then he's got to come in and prove that he can go out there and hoop. You know,
yeah.
Everybody last year got a shot.
Whoa, what the? Okay.
Right? Everybody got a shot last year. Kevin Knox had his turn. Frank Ntilikina had his turn. Dennis Smith Jr. had a turn. Everybody got a shot. And I think, you know, when you talk about the 15 players that's on the team, I think he'll get a shot somewhere along the line. He's just got to capitalize on it when he does get a shot. And I think he's got to realize, this is it. This is my shot. Obi's out for 5 games. I got to come out here and hoop and show that I belong on the floor.
Well, we don't hope Obi's out.
I mean?
Don't hope Obi's out.
No, I'm not saying we hope that Obi's out. What we're saying is if that happens, he has to say in his mind, Obi's out for 5 games. I'm going to be out here on the floor. This is my shot to prove that I belong in the NBA. If not for the New York Knicks, then for another team, you know?
But Sim, you know what it is though, man? I don't want to get into the whole big Kevin Knox thing because again, I think it is what it is with him. I just, you know, we're hoping. Well, we have been since 2018 hoping for him to be away.
We heard that whole story before. We heard that entire story. Everything you're gonna say. You know, we've been hoping since this time.
I'm saying, but we're hoping for him to be a killer, but he hasn't been a killer yet.
Right. What I'm saying is you keep on saying that, and what I'm saying is he's 22 years old, and he still has a chance to make something out of himself in the league. And when he gets the shot to get on the floor, he's got to capitalize on it.
Right.
But just like when anyone says something about RJ Barrett, the first argument is he's only 21. He's only 21. This kid's 22 years old.
But George, see, I don't want to because you know there's a difference between Kevin Knox and RJ Barrett. You know that.
Yeah, but you know what the same thing? But hold on, but you know what the same thing is between them? Neither of them are killers yet. Neither of them.
RJ's not a killer?
No.
Are they not a killer?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
He's not.
Okay,
not yet.
But
He still has a ways
I'm just
to go.
saying with Kevin Knox is that again, we want this kid to be this. We want him to be the summer league Kevin Knox. We want him to be the one that was, you know, the player, the rookie of the month for December in 2019 or whatever. It's just.
Well, I'm going to say this.
We
know what you're saying, and what I'm going to say, and what I think we're saying is we hope that he is able to capitalize on his opportunity because we want to see the kid do good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to badmouth or put down anybody. You know what I mean? We just want to see the kid do good and hopefully be able to capitalize on any opportunity that's afforded to him. We talked about, Josh brought up RJ Barrett. Let's talk about RJ Barrett and what you've seen from him tonight. Josh, you might as well jump in there. What you see from RJ Barrett? He has 17 points. I think he's the second leading scorer.
RJ Barrett first?
I think he's the second leading scorer on the team tonight, behind Julius Randle. He shot it well from the 3-point line. All right, let me see. Let me get RJ's stats for the night. 17 points, 7 for 14 from the field, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He played 25 minutes.
Nice.
So I really like what I've seen from RJ Barrett. I think, the difference between this season and last season is he was able to start off with this, out the gate, start off with this. And I can see that natural progression actually happening. RJ Barrett is basically in the middle of his stride when, with these performances now. So I'm not surprised. I think it's a really good sign. I'm interested to see how he's going to be able to keep this up. As Evan Fournier gets a little bit more comfortable and Kemba Walker gets more comfortable, will his attempts go down? Will his efficiency go up? Will it stay the same? Has it plateaued? So those are the little things that I'm looking for like that, but I'm not concerned with RJ Barrett at all. I think he's right where he needs to be, and it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Just to follow up or respond a little bit to what you just said, I'm going to look at the first half. Because in the first half, the Knicks starters and rotation players played against Indiana starters and rotation players. All right. And RJ Barrett had 10 attempts. He had 9 points. He had 2 rebounds. He had 1 assist. He shot 40% from the field and 33.3% from 3. All right. Now, the Knicks as a whole shot 49% from the field and 35% from the 3-point line. And when you look at the shot distribution for the game, and, you know, as we're talking about whether or not he'll continue to get the shot attempts, I think he will. Without a doubt. I mean, he had 14 attempts tonight. Randall had 14 attempts, and he played 4 minutes less than Randall. Gibson had 9 attempts. Fournier had 8 attempts. Walker had 10 attempts. Rose had 10 attempts. Burks 3 attempts. Sims 4 attempts. Obi had 10 attempts. Quickley had 10 attempts. All right. Now, it's going to change a little bit as players get more minutes. Right. But, you know, these guys are going to, I think there's going to be a well-rounded number of attempts that goes around each and every night.
Right.
You know, there'll be some nights when Randall gets his 18 to 20 attempts. You know, I think RJ Barrett, you know, will probably be between 14 and 18 attempts a night. I think Evan Fournier is going to get more attempts as the season goes on. He gets more comfortable, you know, and he, you know, he's not now feeling like he's stepping on anybody. I'm not saying he feels like that right now, but, you know, he might feel like, you know, let me ease into this as he eases in and now he's there. I think his attempts are going to go up. You know, tonight he had 12 points on 8 attempts. You know, and he went to the line. As a matter of fact, he had 6 attempts, and that led the team in free throw attempts. You know, if he can do that, I mean, and then Julius Randle was second. He had 5 free throw attempts. But I think RJ Barrett's he'll get between 14 and 18 attempts. And if he can shoot 50% from the field, 40% from 3, he'll be between 17 to 20 points a game. Steph, any thoughts on RJ tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think he looked good. I'm not sure about that defensive stopper thing, you know, but let's see, you know, as the season goes on, we may just have to do it like we've been, you know, like Tibbs say, just team defense. But, you know, other than that, you know, he looks good. He looks comfortable taking some shots, you know, off the dribble. You know.
Yep, a couple shots off the dribble.
Yeah.
Isaiah, any thoughts on RJ Barrett?
RJ Barrett played good. Played good today. I seen a float game there. 3-point shot was there. I'm still a little disappointed in the finishing a little bit. But again, it was the first game of preseason. I was just a tiny bit disappointed in it. But hey, he still has a lot of room to prove, and it's only the first game of preseason. So
shot
I'm not
50%
really worried about
from
it.
the field. He shot 50% from the field. He finished something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but no, there was a couple of layups that he should have just. You know, there was a couple of layups he missed that he should have made. But you know, like I said, it's first game of preseason. I'm not really worried about it.
Okay, Tony.
Yeah, so I actually got to make a correction. I saw 3 plays with RJ. I seen his pull-up 3 from the top of the key. I seen a layup attempt that got blocked by Miles Turner, but I also seen him come right back and score on Miles Turner. Miles Turner got there late, but you know, I only saw 3 plays from him. I'm you know, looking forward to watching the game in its entirety. But from what you're saying and the numbers, I mean, it looks like he's gonna be right there, right behind Randall. You know what I mean? Second guy. And if we're going off the basis of, you know, just finding the open man or reading the defense, I think, like I said before, I think he's gonna be the guy that, you know, teams kind of leave open if they got to make a decision. You know what I mean? They're gonna make RJ do the scoring, which I think he's gonna have to punish him.
Okay, and like the caller said earlier, you know, you might get Randall doing his thing and Fournier's doing their thing, and they forget all about RJ. And because you forgot about RJ, now he starts doing this thing. It's like that on his team right now. Let me get to a caller. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Hey, Sam, my name's Kyle.
What's going on, Kyle? How you feeling?
How you doing, my man?
I'm pretty good.
Hey, first time, long time. I've watched all your shows.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And, you know, I'm back when, like, Spreewell, Mason, you know, all the old teams. I've been watching for a long time. And I'll tell you, I am so hopeful right now, more than last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
I'll tell you, because these guys are hustling. Thibodeau has them all working together. We've been doing the right moves, and I'm just saying that we're just rocking. We're just rocking right now.
Yeah, we are. We're rocking. We look good, man. We looked good tonight. And now defenses are gonna, as the season goes on, teams are gonna scheme against us. There's gonna be double teams, and there's gonna be complicated zones and complicated traps and things like that the teams are gonna have to get over, and we'll start to really see their true colors then. But you couldn't have a better start.
Right. Well, you know, we're just establishing the principles, you know, on the board that you've been highlighting, and you know, they've been executing, and our team is just so deep, and I just have a lot of hope in Thibodeau and our coaching staff, and we're just putting it together and getting that harmony, getting everyone working together, and I'm just seeing it on the court. 125 points? Yeah, it's preseason, whatever.
Hey,
but
125 points, and they shot 46% from the field. So it's not like they were scorching hot, and 29.7% from three. So they weren't scorching
See what I'm
hot.
saying? Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's not like they were scorching hot. You know what I mean?
It's one game. It's one game.
We understand.
Yeah, obviously, it's one game. Yeah, but this is transferable from last year. This is moving forward. This is with our rookies. This is with all our new talent, and it's exponential.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My man, I appreciate
I love you guys, man.
Thank you for the time, man.
Appreciate
you.
All right, take care, son.
Take care. And the Knicks actually were 22 for 24 from the free throw line as well. 22 for 24. We get to another
That's going to be big.
Yeah, real big. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Hi, Tim and the whole crew. I'm Mohammed from Sydney, Australia. Do love your show.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Skipping work to sign in and watch your show after the Knicks game. So just a great salute to everyone and great stuff that you guys are producing.
Thank you. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts on what you've seen tonight?
Yeah, look, just a couple of quick observations. Look, I'm really excited about the Knicks. I'm a D-Rose is why I follow basketball. I was a young kid, used to follow the MJ days. I'm an avid Bulls fan, but they suck. I'm going to straight out there. But Knicks is where my heart is at, where D-Rose is at. So that's the truth.
Okay.
What I'm most excited about is the chemistry. Like, I play, community basketball. I suck at it. But the biggest thing I love about basketball is the camaraderie, the love people have for the game. And looking at the Knicks franchise, I feel it. I feel the love for the game. Every single one of those players wants to be on the court for each other. And you kind of see it across the Knicks community. And that's what it's about, right?
Exactly.
And so I'm just really, really excited about that. And just a couple of quick shout-outs about, I know there's a lot of stuff being talked about Kevin Knox. Seriously, if that guy, he's got the length, he's got the size, he's got some lateral speed. Why can't that kid be the stopper that you put in? Work hard, Kevin Knox. That's what I'm going to say. Work hard. Be a Bobby Portis. Be like a Jimmy Butler. Put in 12 hours of work if you have to, man. Young man, you got your life ahead of you. Work hard. And that kind of thing. I think Knicks have some really good pieces, and I do hope they're a 50-plus team.
Yeah, they got some really good pieces, and hopefully Tom Thibodeau is the guy that can put them together. Looks like it could be so far. We'll find out. Muhammad, thank you for your call, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate your time. Right.
One thing about Tibbs, he always has a better second season with his club than the first. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow I will be on tomorrow to do the shoot around. Right. So where we can, talk about the game with, some clearer vision. Right now we're kind of clouded behind 125 points. So tomorrow we could talk about it with some fresh eyes, and look at what we saw and hear some fresh voices on it as well. Now, in the meantime and in between time, if you have a chance, if you still want to get your Knicks fix tonight, make sure you check out that Miles McBride. Well, not an interview with Miles McBride, but an interview with Carl Kramer, who was Miles McBride's high school coach. It was a really, really good interview that we did today. So make sure you check that out. I put the link in the YouTube chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description of this video. And I just put it in the YouTube chat again. So make sure you check that out. It was a really, really good interview. And I think you'll enjoy learning a little bit about Miles McBride. He didn't get a lot of playing time tonight, but Coach Kramer thinks, eventually he's going to get his shot. And when he does get his shot, he's going to capitalize on his shot. And that Miles McBride is the type of player who is going to be patient, and wait his turn and respect the process. You know what I mean? So go check that interview out. It's really, really good. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you tomorrow on the shoot around. We break down some more of this basketball game and think about what the Knicks are doing going forward. I will also be at the Knicks versus Wizards game on Saturday. So I will do a game preview early in the day, but I'm not going to be able to do a post-game show. I don't know if one of you guys can jump on and and fire up the post-game show, and then I can chime in from the game afterwards. So I guess we can figure that out throughout the week to make sure we still get.
I guess I'll do it. I don't want to take all your time, but I guess I'll do it.
That's a big one.
Sim.
I gotta hit this one more time. I gotta hit it a couple of times on it. Sorry.
Back.
First of all, Sim, I know where you live, and I told you.
I know you know where I live. I know. I know. I got you. I got you.
All right.
But anyway, any last words, Tony? Some last words. I'll go around the board. Some last words from you. Can't hear you, Tony.
Can't hear you.
My bad.
There you go.
I'm actually looking forward to the shoot around. I don't usually make it on, but being that I'm gonna get a fresh, full look at the game after this, I should be really informed on the game tomorrow and have some good takes. So I'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate the panel. Appreciate you, Sim, of course. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time.
All right. And I'll be doing that shoot around about 11:30 or so tomorrow.
Okay. Tomorrow.
Josh?
Well, it's 12:20 a.m. here on the East Coast, United States, and I'm tired. I forget how long these post-game shows go, but, that's what it's about. It's about these Knicks, and we love these Knicks, so I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of sleep and shut out just to show love and support NBK fam and support the team overall. So take care, everyone. Good night, and we'll see you on the shoot around.
All right. Appreciate you. Steph?
Yeah, I was encouraged by what I saw from the Knicks today in terms of pace, in terms of the offensive diversity. I'm excited about this team. I'm pretty high on this team, and I'm looking forward to the season, and I'm looking forward to what we're doing this season. We got a lot of things planned, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
We got a lot of stuff planned, and for those who are members, just be on the lookout because soon you're gonna start getting some messages and notifications about some live pop-up shows that we'll be doing, and those who are members will be invited to come to the live shows and come hang out with us and do some shows with us. You know what I mean? So if you're a member of the channel, just be on the lookout for that. Yeah, it's coming very, very soon. All right. And Big Bubba.
Stop playing that damn horn.
Come on, man.
No, Listen, man, great show. Great show tonight. And we got some cooking with Chef Zay's coming up, man.
That's the first time I heard about that. But anyway, go ahead.
We got some cooking with Chef Zay's coming up. Don't you worry. We got some new food, new stuff on the menu. It's on and popping.
Oh, we're gonna find out. It's probably gonna be, you'll probably be making some Cheerios, some Captain Crunch cereal or something like that. Because I don't know. He hasn't said anything to me about any kind of cooking with Chef Zay.
Don't do that.
It's gonna be microwaving with Chef Zay.
Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're up out of here. Appreciate you. Check us out tomorrow morning on the shoot around by 11:30. Look for that notification. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe right now. Ring that notification bell. We out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
This is MBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.